Why are farmers poor in Africa? Why are people running away from farming? Why are people trying to stay away from the dirt? What result you currently get in your agricultural enterprise is your choice. Is your choice. If you're rich, is your choice. If you're poor, is your choice. Result is solely determined by you. Henry Ford said, if you say you can or you can't, you are right. Either you can or you can't, you are right. Whatever you say, you are very right. We need to be blunt with ourselves. For too many years, for so long a time, farmers have been synonymous to poverty. Poverty, from whatever vocation or job that you chose, is the result of bad choices, or let me say outdated thinking or lack of vision. Today, before the end of this call, if you are not yet on the path that you want, especially as a farmer, or as somebody thinking about farming as a second choice, whatever choice, you are going to get a very clear vision of what you can do. So this presentation is not about hope. It's about strategy. Hope will not feed your family, but strategy will. So I want to say to every young Africans or to the soon to be retired older ones who are thinking of agriculture as a next vocation, please stop romancing poverty. Agriculture is a business. It's not a charity project. If you are not comfortable with being poor, then this chart is for you. But if you are okay, please, you can step aside. So I want to start by saying, if you are going to build or you are going to create a revolution in agriculture, it must start with a mind shift. It must start with a mind shift. You must stop thinking like a farmer. You must think like a CEO. How many of you, if you are in Nigeria, I think I've seen it in Kenya too, there are kiosk businesses. You see somebody build a kiosk. In that kiosk, they sell sugar, they sell biscuits, groceries, and they see themselves as sugar sellers, biscuits, whatever. So people set up kiosks, and in that kiosk, they get a POS, to do money transfers. And that's how far they can see. You see, it's about the mindset. You either see yourself as a CEO, as a businessman, or you see yourself as a kiosk owner. And it's the same thing about farming. And this does not end with just those who own their business in farming. What about those that work in agriculture? What about those that work in agriculture? What about those that work in agriculture? Do you think you're just working in anyhow business? Do you think you're just working in, you're just working there? You're just working there. I don't know how to explain it better. If somebody in an oil servicing firm or oil exploration company see themselves as working in the top of the tier organization, you also that works in the farm or in an agricultural organization should also see yourself as somebody that works in the top of the tier organization. It's all about mindset. It's all about mindset. Listen to this. Grow what you always grow or what you have always been growing. Sell to the middleman. No record of what you are growing. No planning as being the center of most farmers. And that's why they have remained poor. So poverty mindset says, grow everything. My father grew maize. I also will grow maize. My mother grew melon. I also will grow melon. They sold their produce to the people there, to that place. I also will do the same. That's a poverty mindset. How does a wealthy, a rich farmer think? Listen to this. Wealth mindset, identify market demand first. So in farming, if you will move from a poor farmer to a rich farmer, there is a need for a mindset shift. You must shift the way you see things. It starts from market demand. Treat your farm as a profit and loss center. Understand your cost and optimize every process. Many don't even know what they put into their business. They are farmers. They buy fertilizer. They buy certain things. They don't even know what they put into it. They don't see it as a business. As a farmer who will become rich, you must see yourself as an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a problem solver. And that's why we call ourselves agripreneurs, agricultural entrepreneurs, problem solvers in agriculture, solution providers in agriculture. Listen to me, your land is your factory as an agripreneur. Your land, your greenhouse, the place you are growing is your factory. Your produce is your product. And your customer dictates your success. Let me repeat that. Your land is your factory. It's your production center. Your produce must be seen as products. If Samsung says our product is Samsung S25, S24 Ultra, S22, Ultra 8, 14 inches tab, Samsung, what's the name of that TV set? If they say that's their product. If Apple says our product is iPhone 16 Plus, a farmer must see that produce, that tomato, that pepper, that onion, that cucumber, that maize, that rice as a product. You must treat your produce as a product. If you think farming is about planting seed, you will stay broke. But if you see farming as planting money, nurturing money, and then harvesting profit, then you become rich. So I want to talk to people who think farming can be planting of money and then harvesting of profit. I'm going somewhere. So 6 pillars, 6 major pillars that you must build. A pillar is that thing that supports a house. If your farming business, if you as a farmer, we move from being a poor farmer to a rich farmer, there are 6 key pillars that your business must rest on. Have you seen a house resting on 2 pillars before? If your business will stabilize, if you will move from a poor farmer to a rich farmer, 6 key pillars that your business must be built on. Number 1 pillar, I'm going. Market intelligence. Market intelligence. Grow what sells, not what grows. Started hydroponics technology several years back. I remember we built a farm for somebody in Abuja, and this lady came and said, I love lettuce. Build a system for me that grows lettuce. An NFT system grows lettuce. Those are the pipe systems. And I told her that if we design this system to grow lettuce, it cannot grow other crops. It won't grow tomato well, it won't grow peppers, it won't grow other things. Do you have a good market for lettuce? 1. Will you consistently have market for lettuce? She said, yes, I love lettuce, I did this. Put it down, she wrote it, and we built an NFT system. And to God, the lettuce were fantastic. I could still remember those romaine lettuce, those iceberg lettuce. They were big, they were massive. This lady took what she could eat, which was less than 5% of the produce, and took the rest to the market, and story started. The people she took the lettuce to were only willing to pay the same amount those that were buying lettuce from faraway farms that were dirty, were growing it in baskets. The little difference they wanted to pay more was probably 5 or 10 naira difference. She was devastated. She said, can't you see the quality? Can't you see this? They didn't care. She came back, broken. In fact, I can remember the first and only negative review I've gotten as a business owner is from that lady. And I was very furious. I said, but you wrote it down. But I told you, it is not about what grows. It's about what sells. It's about what sells. That is the first pillar, market intelligence. What sells, not just what grows. Anything can grow, but not anything will sell. Market intelligence is key. Listen to me. You want to become a rich farmer. Oh, my parents have been growing a wedu. Good for you. But that has been 30 years. Certain things have changed in that environment. Oh, my parents have been raising bird. Oh, we've always been a goat farmer, whatever. What does the market need? Grow what sells, not what grows. If you will become rich. Remember, your market before manure. Your crop is a product, not a prayer. Your crop is a product, not a prayer. I've seen many people take their product and they are praying for breakthrough. I've seen people anoint their shops. I've seen them anoint farms. I've seen them anoint crop, waiting for that magical customer to come from somewhere. Listen to me. Success in agriculture, especially with your product, is not prayer. It's product. Understand product. Understand market needs. If you give the market what it does not need, you are just wasting your time. Listen, somebody said, oh, my father grew maize. In my family, we are cocoa family. What is selling? If cocoa is still selling, please grow cocoa. But if cocoa is no more selling, look for the market. If you grow maize and everybody is growing maize, what will happen? So you produce a crop that gets to market when everywhere is flooded. Market intelligence. Market intelligence. Demand-driven production is the key to success. Demand-driven production. Identify crops that are high in value and have good market demand. Good market demand. If you want to catch a fish in the water, you don't throw biscuit. Even if biscuit is sweet in your mouth, you don't throw biscuit because fishes don't eat biscuit. They eat worms. No matter how sweet your biscuit is, if you take it to the water, the fish will not bite. They will not bite. They will only bite worm. So market intelligence. If you get that pillar right, you will move from being a poor farmer to becoming a rich farmer. Are you listening? Number 2. Number 2 pillar from moving from being a poor farmer to a rich farmer is value addition. Value addition. I use the word transform and profit. Transform and profit. How many of you have seen a caterpillar before? There's something, I visited a garden. I visited a garden somewhere in a town called Saskatoon. Saskatoon is one of the priority cities in Canada. I visited the garden and we were taken to a butterfly garden. You see, every fine butterfly was once a caterpillar. Something called metamorphosis happened. Metamorphosis. So a butterfly metamorphosed from a caterpillar. And when you see a butterfly and you see a caterpillar, you will be shocked that they don't look alike. Value addition. Add value to transform a product to a profit. Value. No more raw deals. Add value. When you add value, then you add wealth. Every car you see out there was made or is made from metal, iron, ore that comes from the ground, from different, even rubber from the tree. Is used to produce the tire. The clothes we are all wearing. The seats, the chairs, everything. The glasses on my eyes. Do you know glass is actually made from clay? Add value, add wealth, and you'll be surprised. You see, when you sell raw, you are leaving money on the table. Selling raw is for amateurs. Earlier today, since morning, we've been on a number of farms in Manitoba. And I was telling my friend that we went together that every farm you see a silo. They don't just harvest and sell. They harvest, store, process, so that you can sell the highest value. There is a country called Uganda. If you are an Ugandan and you are listening to me, I'm talking to you. Every year, Uganda sells coffee worth over 800 million US dollars. The largest coffee producing country in the world, thereabout. But do you know that coffee is a $400 billion annual crop? Coffee is the most consumed beverage in the world. Starbucks makes so much billions from coffee. Tim Hortons, just name them, from coffee. America makes so much from coffee. Coffee beans does not grow in America. It does not. Value addition. Value addition. Stop selling raw. The money is in processing, drying, milling, juicing, canning, packaging. Stop selling raw. Processing. I love pepper soup. Don't mind me. Funny enough, I'm not the only one that loves pepper soup. My wife likes pepper soup. My children likes pepper soup. You know. And I can remember most Wednesdays we do buy pepper soup when we are coming from church, going to the house. I live inside Ashero Estate in Nigeria, you know. And at the gate of, at the first gate of Ashero, if you know that place, there's somebody that sells pepper soup there. So when we drive, you know, to the estate gate, we park, press the on. The woman will sight us. She will come. We give our orders. She will prepare it and bring it to the car. Suddenly, the woman left a position at the gate and moved further down. But where she moved to is also a joint, a beer parlor. So when we get there, we go down. Pastor cannot go down to beer parlor to buy pepper soup. They won't understand that it is pepper soup. So we will just sit. If she does not look at our side, she does not discover that we're there, we will drive off. We crave pepper soup, but we couldn't get it. Then one day I was telling my wife, I said, can you imagine somebody packages pepper soup in something like a tin tomato can? It's not the same way we buy tin tomato, right? You buy it off the shelf. The same way you buy geisha, something off the shelf. You know, somebody built a big tin and it's pepper soup sealed. And all I need to do is buy it off the shelf, cut it open, put it in the bowl, put it in the microwave, eat it up, and I'm drinking. I was talking from Samson one day, and he was showing me this, is it freeze dried soup or something? You know? Processing. The money is in value addition. You do is the pepper soup we scale. I'm sharing an idea with somebody. It will go around the world. It will go around the world. Because it will be well packaged and everybody can have access to it. Your secret will be in your sauce, will be in your recipe. If you have the best recipe, you have the best market. So branding, create solid labeling. I see a lot of people in Africa, you know, we process at the basic level. Everybody is just bottling and putting a sticker. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. I visit a lot of African stores in Europe, in North America. You see almost the same thing. These products are not becoming multi-billion because we just process, we are just doing the basic to it. Processing goes beyond just bottling or putting it in a container and just labeling it. It goes beyond that. Branding. Add value. The money is in the value. Don't just process. Add value. For Nigerians. Nigeria is the largest cassava producer in the world. But it ends there. We only turn cassava to gari. Unfortunately, the best gari in the world is not even made in Nigeria. Are you surprised? Professor Kunle, they showed me a gari one day. I was shocked. Made in Holland gari. They studied the processes of gari in Ijebu gari for that matter. They uprooted the cassava from the farm, left it for certain days. They've calculated everything, peeled, grinded, grated, left it to ferment, did everything. Crazy processes. Taste, oh my God. Yet it's only gari we process majorly from cassava. When there are so many things. You can process sugar substitute from cassava. You can process drug medication. When you make tablets, what you add to tablets, fillers, high quality cassava flour. You can process beer, wine, from so many things. Value addition and the shelf life of what you are producing. For example, Nigeria loves very fresh tomato. We love fresh vegetable. We are not a big country for totally processed tomato into paste or what have you. But do you know how much tomato get to waste? For every 30-ton truck of tomato that leaves Katsina, that leaves Kano, that leaves Jos, by the time they are getting to the largest market in Lagos, almost half of 40% are rotting. Let me ask you, have you sat down to ask, how do they move apple from several countries away and it stays for 3 months on the shelf? You see, everything is not poison. Let's talk to ourselves. Let's open our eyes. I saw a company that produced this thing. You know the same icing you have on cake. They call it edible wax. very thin level. When they harvest certain vegetables and fruits from the market, they just put it in that thing. The reason produce, fruit, deteriorate is because air gets into the pores. Who is creating that organic thing? That I can harvest my tomato, wash it, pour it in that liquid, and as we bring it out, the pores are sealed. Edible, ethical, good one. Good one. And if I move it 2,000 kilometers, it stays fresh. The money is in that. Food processor, food technology university, graduates. What are you producing? What are you focusing your attention on? What are you spending your time on? Everybody does not have to produce, so people can be into that extending of shelf life. How can you extend the shelf life? If you want to eat yam fresh, how can we make it remain fresh, as in fresh yam? The shelf life of yam can be extended. I'm telling you that. It's possible. It's possible. So if you are selling your entire harvest for pennies, you are a fool. Sorry. Your competitors are turning the same pennies into dollars. And they are making crazy money from it. There is nothing in cocoa beans. It's just basic. But there's a lot of money in chocolate. There's nothing in coffee beans. But there's a lot of money in coffee beverage. Okay? So many. Number 2, transform and profit. Value addition. Number 3 pillar. The third pillar, if you will move from being a poor farmer to becoming a rich farmer, is technology and modern practice. Become a smart farmer. Become a smart farmer. That is, embrace technology and modern practice. Listen to me. You need to ditch the O and you need to grab the tech. Ditch the O, grab the tech. I want that slang to go viral. Can we make it viral? Ditch the hole, grab the tech. Young farmers, ditch the hole, grab the tech. Ditch the hole, grab the tech. Farm smart, not hard. Hashtag farm smart, not hard. Farm smart, not hard. Ditch the hole, grab the tech. It's technology era. It's technological time. Forget about the hole. Forget about the cutlass. Ditch the cutlass. Ditch the hole. Grab the tech. Irrigation technology. Crops don't need rain. They need water. How do we get water to the plant? That's irrigation. So irrigation technology. Efficient water use. Climate change is here. It's no longer a theory. It is here. So if we are not thinking how to use water efficiently, then we are deceiving ourselves. Do you know that it's technology now that only uses 5% of the amount of water you would have used if you are using normal irrigation? Technology, drip irrigation, improve seeds. In Africa, most farmers take their seed from their harvest. They take their seed from their harvest. You cannot continue to take seed from harvest. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. If 2 young short people marry themselves, tendency that their child will be short is very high, especially if their parent is short. So think hybrid seed, improved variety of seed, not GMO. Don't let anybody deceive you. All hybrid seeds are not GMO. GMO means genetically modified. Hybridization is a tech that Africa was embraced. The highest selling catfish in Africa is called Dutch Clarias. Look at the name, Dutch Clarias. But Dutch Clarias is not a pure Dutch work, or they call it Hollandaise. Dutch Clarias is catfish that is an hybrid of African and Dutch catfish. They hybridize them. They crossed the African catfish because it's very heavy, it's very strong. And the Dutch catfish because it grows fast. They crossed the two. And they came about with what we called Dutch Clarias or Hollandaise. And you will see everybody being proud. I grow hybrid fish. I grow Dutch. I grow Hollandaise. Hey, it's hybridization. It's hybridization. Become a friend of hybrid. Improve seed. Several diseases. Before, we were using chloroquine to treat malaria. Am I right? The malaria parasite developed resistance to chloroquine at the time. Then we have to be using artemether, artemisinin, and some other thing that is being used. You get what I'm trying to say? So certain pests and diseases have developed resistance to those seeds that we are using. Let's think hybridization. Let's think improved seed. Seeds with higher yield. Seeds with disease resistance. Stop using inferior stock. If the parent is sick, the tendency that the children will be sick is very high. Improve stock. Ditch the hole. Under ditch the hole, technology and other practices, use mechanization. Small scale machinery, as small as they can revolutionize productivity. We just came from a farm today. One man cultivates over 1,000 acres of farmland. He grows wheat. He grows wheat. We were talking about the air planter that covers about 45 feet and 45 rows, at the time. One machine plants over 500 acres a day. One machinery planting over 500 acres a day. That machine is driven by one man. Mechanization. 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 Tractors are not just for commercial farms. We can take small tools. Then digital tools like weather apps, market price apps, soil testing kits. You should be able to predict, oh, if I plant today, rain will fall, but in the next 1 week, there won't be rain. So if I go to farm to plant, 2 weeks ago, the temperature in Canada began to heat up, and it got to 37 degrees. But we've seen on the weather forecast, that in another 4 days, there will be snow again. Can you imagine from 37 degrees back to -3? If you have planted, frost will kill them. So there are weather forecast apps that farmers have read. So no, let's wait till after the last snow. So you need to understand that. And if you will plant, you must know that there are crops that can still afford certain temperature. For example, grass. So if you grow wheat, they can afford, okay, at 1 degree, wheat can still survive on the ground. But you don't put tomato in such a ground. So weather forecast apps, these are tools that help farmers. So even when you depend on the force of nature, you are not doing it blindly. You are going to the field, with experience. Digital tools, soil testing kits. What are the nutrients in your soil? There is a law called the law of minimum. I will talk about law of farming one of these days. It says what affects your yield is not the non-availability of the macronutrient, but the non-availability of the least required nutrient. If you don't test your soil, how do you know what is not there? Government gives NPK. Many people celebrate NPK. But what revolution has NPK brought to farmers? Because most time NPK is not the limiting factor. It is that molybdenum that is not in your soil. It is that sulfur, it is that iron that is not in your soil. It is the micronutrient that is not in your soil, but you are celebrating NPK. You are celebrating urea. That is not why you have poor yield. What is your soil good for? There are areas in every country that are good for certain crop. There are areas that are good for another type of crop. Why grow maize on a soil that is good for rice? Why grow tomato on a soil that you should be growing onions? You won't get the best. So you must test and know, and you need digital tools to achieve this. Information is power. What about sustainable practices? Under technology and other practices, sustainable practices, understanding the soil health, pest management. When you grow in the southwest, because the southwest is close, or even southeast, you are close to the sea, the Niger Delta, humidity is naturally high. When humidity is high, it encourages certain pests and disease. You must know that. For example, if you're a tomato farmer, you're a pepper farmer, the natural environment to grow tomato well is about 500 meters above the sea level. When you are growing in Ikorodu, you are growing in Igbodu, you are growing in Abeokuta, you are just about 50 meters above the sea level. There are things you will come back to. There are things you will fight with. You should know that. It will limit. So you need certain technology, to up your limitation in those areas. Even though you are close to a big market, but there are limitations to your growth. You need to know so that it will help you to know the type of technology that you can use. I say people build the same type of greenhouses we build in Abeokuta. Somebody is building it in Abuja. Somebody is building it in Sokoto. They are building that same type in Nasarawa. They're just wasting your money and your time. It won't work. So sustainable practices, crop rotation. Sometimes it's total rotation that is needed. Total rotation. You have been growing certain type of crop. Certain pests and diseases have formed resistance, and they have built their castle on your farm. Change. When you change, naturally they die. They don't have food, they will die. Change for a season or two, then plant something else. There are crops that help to fix nitrogen in the soil. So you need to understand, these are practices that you need to do. They help to boost your yield. You don't understand how to use bees. And you say you are a farmer. What kind of farmer are you? You are into cattle farming. You are into pig rearing. You don't understand what is called artificial insemination. What kind of farmer are you? You can run a successful cattle farm, pig farm, goat farm with the best stock from artificial insemination. Bring the best farm, inseminate the females, and get the best stock from them. You can localize a foreign breed using artificial insemination. These are practices that help to boost and increase your yield. Listen to me. Your grandfather method kept them poor. If you are still relying on that same method, you are choosing the same fate. Wake up. We are in the 21st century. We're in the 21st century. This is not the 19th century. In fact, we are in AI era. And artificial intelligence, the number 4 pillar is called financial literacy and management. Financial literacy and management. That is your farm's bank account. Listen to me. Money matters. Master your farm finances. There are certain things, certain resources you will never have access to if you don't understand. You see, all the scams, all the how do I put it? All the Ponzi schemes that many people fell for. that came via agriculture is one, because those practicing it, for those that thought they were genuinely wrong, let me use the word being genuinely wrong, is because one, they don't have financial literacy and management. Then the people they are selling it to don't have that too. Do you know many people have walked up to me and tried to convince me to structure an agri-tech scheme? Oh, BIC, you can run an investment plan. And I look at them and laugh. I said, you want to stop? You want to end my life before it starts? We still have a long way to go. All those things cannot be sustainable. Farming does not work like that. It does not work like that. Financial literacy, budgeting, know your input cost, track every expenses, record keeping, what sold, how much did you sell it for, who did you sell it to, where are your records? Do not be risky. Let me tell you something about risk. Control mitigates risk. When you have control, you reduce risk. So your financial record, your financial literacy and management helps you to put control measures in place. Do you understand what is called profit and loss? Is your farm actually making money? Or you have revenue, you don't have profit? So many people have spoken with me, want to shut down the farm, want to close the farm. Nothing is happening, even though we are seeing revenue, but we are not making profit. It's because certain things are lacking. You don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And if you don't know your business, you are guaranteed to fail. So the fifth pillar, if you will move from being a poor farmer to becoming a rich farmer, is collaboration and network. There is strength in number. There's something called strategic alliance. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think the United States, as powerful as the United States is, build what we call strategic alliance? The United States, align with certain countries and say, let's frustrate those people. Nobody must buy from them. Okay, let's build this alliance so that we increase our market space and we have a larger market to sell to. It's strategic alliance. It's collaboration. A network. Determine your net worth. Succeeds alone. Nobody. Show me your network, and I will show you how far you can go. A lot of people have messed up their network, and they are wondering why life has messed them up. Collaboration. Collaboration. In fact, to Africans, I tell you, it's not the time for competition. Collaboration will take you far. When you collaborate with others, there are things you don't have business doing. So I see a lot of young farmers today wasting time on things they don't even need. Just collaborate. I shared a video of one of my mentors in poultry. We were talking on the farm. This man has 51,000 laying birds. 51,000 laying birds. And we were talking. And I said, Reverend, I observed your feed mill have not been functioning for a long time. And he told me, Debo, it was ignorance that made me build feed mill. I didn't need one. He said, see, certain ingredients, for example, look at maize. Maize, it's a commodity that becomes scarce every year. He said, I don't have certain billions that I can use to stock certain quantity of maize in place. I can't compete with certain companies. I don't want to mention the mega feed producers. He said, these guys mops up maize, previous year maize, every time. They can store it. So they have maize stock that can last for 5 months, 6 months. He said, we can only buy maize stock for 1 month or 2 months. When we exhaust it and we don't get the right maize, you will crash your laying percentage. He said, but at the end of the day, all we are trying to save by owning our own feed mill is probably 100 naira on a bag of feed. The question is, when you do evaluation, does that worth investing the millions in building a mill, the equipment that we have, maybe 20 days downtime in 30 days? You understand what I'm saying? You say collaborate, network, buy from someone. So even when you are collaborating, if all you need is 100 bags, and there's somebody that buys 1,000 bags, another person buys 500 bags, and if one of you can negotiate to buy 2,000 bags per time and get discount, why do you want to buy on your own? Why not collaborate with others and you all buy together so that you can get that bulk discount together? Collaborate and network. Solo is stupid. Unite to dominate and prosper. Form cooperative, form groups, work together. Bulk buying, like I said, collective packaging. Access to market with larger volume. That's what is needed. There is a place in the city of, in the province of Ontario in Canada. That city is called Leamington. Leamington. You can Google Leamington. Leamington is the greenhouse hub of North America. If you go to Leamington, every year, from spring to late summer and fall, more than 20,000 people are brought into Leamington just to work in greenhouses. Leamington, that one location, that one town, has over 2,000 acres of greenhouses in one place. Leamington. To do it by yourself, you will just get yourself exhausted. Stop being a lone wolf. When there is a powerful pack waiting, walk with the pack. Fight in the pack. Stop being a lone wolf. Number 6 pillar, which I think I will stop here today. Number 6 pillar. The 6th pillar is access to finance. Money answereth all things. Money answereth all things. money answereth all things. So you need access to finance. You need to fuel your growth. You see, you can't just stay in one place. You must grow consistently and continuously. And you need finance to grow. So get the cash. Don't just wish for money. Secure it. Secure it. Secure it. Understand what banks need. There are many microfinance institutions. Many of them have been abused and bastardized. Many Africans, especially in Nigeria, have turned microfinance organizations to their enemies because they drag their loan recovery dirty. But listen to me. You as a businessman must learn how to build a good relationship with banks. You must learn how to build a good relationship with finance homes. Understand it. Understand it. If you live in the West, credit score is more important than cash in the bank. Credit score. That is the score of credit that is from 300 to 900. When you are below 600, you have a poor credit rating. When you are around 750, 760, average, your average credit, you will get so many things done. When you are above 800, good credit. Credit ratings is more important than cash in the bank. When you have good credit score and you have credit history of years, oh, they know that person you can do business with that person. You can do business with that person. What is your credit rating? What is your credit score? What is your credit score? Do you know because of credit? Many years back, I don't borrow money. I only give what I can afford to give. I don't borrow money, but I don't even turn my friends to enemies. Credit score. If you will move from being a poor farmer to a rich farmer, you must build good access to finance. You must build your credit ratings. You must. One of the richest Nigerians, Dr. What was the name? Dr. Maduka Kostaris. He built a credit ratings with the Japanese companies that they started giving him good, what, billions without collecting money. He will sell it, he will make his profit, he will remit their money back. Today is a billionaire in dollars because he built a good credit rating and he has unending access to finance. Unending access to finance. So there are finance opportunities out there. There are government grants, there are institutional grants, there are programs that you need to learn how to access. But they won't give you money if they don't know what you have done in time past. A lot of people, you want to be a businessman, you want to be wealthy, you don't understand that your ratings, your score is important. Oh, you must build that rating. It's important. Yes, you must honor that commitment. If you don't honor it, it will stop your next move. That's what you are doing to yourself. It will stop your next move. It will stop your next move. So you must understand that. Learn how to raise capital. You can raise capital among your friends. I was telling someone, do you know that 50 million is 10 million from 5 people? Yes. 50 million is 10 million from 5 people. 50 million is 5 million from 10 people. It's 5 million from 10 people. Yes. So there's a way you can raise money and do something substantial. Money isn't just going to magically appear. You have to earn it. You have to attract it. And you have to demand it. Show a plan, not just a begging bowl. Show a track record. Show that you deserve it. And you will be amazed. Don't just hear me. Do something about it. Don't be an hearer, but a doer. These 6 pillars will transform you from a poor farmer to a rich farmer.